Hello guys, and welcome to my Shaddoll update. And pretty much there was only two new cards that came up for Shaddoll. That was the Shekhinaga. Let's just call it Shek. Most people are just calling it Shek. And Hound. And the only one I was surprised about was Hound. I did not realize Shaddoll was going to get an actual new card that takes place in the main deck. So I guess we'll just get right in and go through all the cards and their purpose. Let's start with Exodius. Exodius is here because he returns all monsters in the grave to the main deck, so it helps with, it's pretty much just amazing cycling, pretty much. And because you can get in those situations where you've already used all your beasts or you've used all your dragons, and it's like, I need to use them again, and then you have Exodius, so it's like, okay, I'll just return them. And then you can go off and make your play. So Beast, he has the flip effect of you draw 2 cards, discard 1, which would then trigger a Shaddoll card. So he's pretty great, and then his graveyard effect is you can draw 1 card. From that, so he's pretty much our drawer of the deck, and he's really, really nice. And then Shaddoll Dragon, his flip effect is you can compulse any cards on the field and return, just that your opponent controls. So spell or trap card that your opponent controls and returns it to the hand. And when he's sent to the graveyard, you can destroy a spell or trap. Lizard, his flip effect is to destroy 1 monster on the field, and his graveyard effect is he can send any Shaddoll card from the deck to the graveyard. So he's pretty much he's the one that triggers off all the other ones, and he's the one that you want to dump quickly because he goes and makes it more consistent, because instead of just dumping Beast and Dragon to make mid-rash, you can dump Lizard and Beast and then dump Dragon, so that way your deck's then a little bit more. And there are 3 fire hands because they pretty much work by themselves. I mean, this deck revolves around flip effects, and that is a crucial part of the deck, so it can get slow, and fire hand will just work by itself. And when your opponent isn't going to attack it, you can do some other things with Ice Hand, which we'll get onto later. Hound, it's the new one. It's great. Its effect is flip effect is to target 1 Shaddoll card in the graveyard added to your hand. And its graveyard effect is to change the battle position of a card, and only Shaddolls get their flip effect if it has a flip effect. And so he's pretty much an AD changer. We're only wanting 1 of him because he's not really necessary. I mean, as far as cycling, for its flip effect, we have Exodius, who is faster and does it way better than Hound. But yet, as far as AD changer-like effect, where you can switch your battle position, he can be really nice when you're sitting on a Falcon and your opponent has like an XV, and you go Shaddoll Fusion, and you can dump him and then get a Beast or whatever. And then Ice Hand to go with the Fire Hand, pretty much it just destroys back row. And yeah, I'll get onto a combo that we can do with him later once I get to the actual card. Mathematician, we're running him because he is our Earth monster, so that way we do have the ability to make Shekhinaga. And that's the other reason why I'm running Firehand, is so that way we can actually make Egrystal. Yet a Mathematician, he can set off Shaddoll, so that can be really nice, and he can make the deck really way more consistent, and he can be used for Shek, so that can be really nice. Running Junk Synchron, the only cards that he can bring back using his actual effect is AD Changer or Falcon. Yet he can help make a variety of different synchros because he's a level 3. Yet the thing is, though, that I really like to do with him is I like to have him bring back Falcon after my opponent killed him, then use like El Shaddoll Fusion or something else and use Falcon to go in for that fusion, and then Falcon's effect would then kick in. And so once you get that ability to constantly bring back Falcon and use its effect, like that can be really nice. Going 1 turn you do 1 effect, your turn you do the other, and you can keep on doing that. It can be really, really nice and can really annoy your opponent. Summon of Illusion, he has a really nice combo where he will pull out Gaia Drake from our extra deck, yet who will not be destroyed because Gaia Drake cannot be destroyed by card effects or by monster effects, including Summon of Illusion. But the thing is, the main part about him is that he will trigger Shaddoll cards, so that can be a really, really nice thing to do. And he can be a little bit slow, but yet if you already have an AD changer in there and you already have like one of your monsters that you would be willing to use, such as a Falcon, it would be really, really nice, because Falcon would then come back, or you could do it with a Dragon and destroy back row or something like that. Hedgehog, its flip effect is to add 1 Shaddoll spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. Its graveyard effect is to add a Shaddoll monster from your deck to the hand. Falcon, its flip effect is to target a Shaddoll card, including the fusions, and you can special summon it face down. And its graveyard effect is it special summons itself face down. The main one I normally go for is Beast, yet I see a lot of people going for Midrash or Nephilim, yet I tend to just go for Beast, because you can make Nephilim and Midrash very easily, and Beast can just help draw. AD Changer, I like to run AD Changer, because you need to have light monsters in order to pull a Nephilim, and Nephilim is a really important card in the deck. Yet I like AD Changer because it makes the flip effects a little bit faster. Some people like to run Lila or Raiden, or Minerva, or Wolf, or one of those other light ones, or there's like a lot of other light monsters that a lot of people like to run, but I like AD Changer because I know whenever I see it, right, this guy's going to be used for a fusion summon. I don't have to think, okay, do I want to use this for its effect, or do I want to use it to fusion summon with? AD Changer, it's always going to be used for a fusion summon, and then when I do have it in the grave, I can do some really nasty things with it, and where maybe I'll be able to switch a monster to defense position on my opponent's side of the field and run over it, or just use it to let flip effects go faster, doing what we do with Hound with Falcon, flip Falcon, use AD Changer to flip on a Beast or any of our other cards. And then here we have Shaddoll Fusion, that's our main fusion card. It's you use it to fusion summon Shaddoll cards, but yet if your opponent controls a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, you can fusion summon from the main deck. So that what makes Shaddoll so consistent is the fact that if you top deck this card and your opponent has that next to your Synchro monster, you can instantly make an Nephilim or Midrash. And so instead of having to need 3 cards in your hand, you only need this 1 card. And so that's what really makes the deck so good. Running the Run Soul Charge, because we can bring back a lot of cards, make them in really nice plays. 2 El Shaddoll Fusions, which is pretty much just a quick play fusion card. And it's really nice for going in for those multiple attacks where you go battle phase, fusion summon into a new monster. Or if your opponent like targets Midrash for 101 or some type of other monster's effect, you can get rid of it instead. So running the triple superpower, because it's pretty much like, I feel like superpower is the best trap card in the game because it gets rid of your opponent's monsters and there's nothing they can do. Like you can use, and by trap card I mean like you can use it as a trap, like you can set it and then use it when your opponent summons Exciton Knight, and I've done that to my opponent and they've just quit because they can't do anything. I just took their Exciton Knight, and cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this. So I feel like this card is really nice. It does require you to discard, but I found ways to fix that, because normally, seeing how you're going for your Shaddolls, they all have the effect where if they're sent to the graveyard, you add a Shaddoll spell or trap card. So what I like to do is discard one of the Shaddoll spell or trap cards, so that way when they get sent to the graveyard, they actually have a target for them. So it really doesn't have any minus to it, other than the fact that you do have to discard, so you do have to have multiple cards, and you can fusion summon from your hand. So it is a little bit slower than El Shaddoll Fusion, but yet you can get rid of your opponent's monsters, so that can be a really big pain. And then we have Mask Change Second, who we can use on any of our Shaddoll cards to make Dark Law over here. He will then trigger the Shaddoll monster's effect, so that is really important. But you can also use it on Ice Hand, this is the combo I was talking about, to make Acid. So if your opponent isn't attacking Ice Hand, they're attacking your other monsters, and they're just ignoring it, and you get this card. Your opponent has a whole bunch of back row. You can discard 1 card, and then make Acid and just blow up your opponent's field, or at least force them to activate that breakthrough skill, that trench roll, that compulse, and so that can really hurt your opponent by just activating that Mask Change Second, and allow you to get through a lot of things without having to use up your Shaddoll cards, which you can then do later. And then we have Facing the Shadow, who is pretty much a Foolish, except you can flip up face down Shaddoll cards, so you can do a variety of different combos with this card, and that can be really annoying. In fact, I had this really awesome game on Dueling Network yesterday where my opponent summoned BLS, and I used Facing the Shadow to flip Dragon face up, and then I compulsed the BLS back to his hand. And so you just don't forget that you can flip face down Shaddoll monsters face up, but don't think you have to have a Shaddoll monster. You don't have to have a Shaddoll monster in order to activate that effect. And then we have the 1 breakthrough skill, just because it negates effect. I was thinking about running Compulse, but the breakthrough skill, it's just, you know the effect's going to be negated while Compulse. Be a little bit iffy. And then we have 2 Shaddoll Roots, who, if it's a trap monster, that can be used as any attribute fusion monster, so that can be really nice. Yet the other thing is that if it's sent to the graveyard, you can add back a Shaddoll spell or trap card, except Shaddoll Roots. And so if you use El Shaddoll Fusion and you fusion summon with Shaddoll Roots, you get to add back El Shaddoll Fusion. So that can be really nice. to do, or you can just dump it with a Lizard and add back Shaddoll Fusion, so that way you have it right away in your hand. And as for the extra deck, we have Gaia Drake, who we can make with Summon of Illusion, who is effective, can't be targeted by or destroyed by the effects of sack monsters. So he's a free 35 feeder that will not be destroyed by Summon of Illusion's effect, and he is really, really nice. Now he's really easy to get over. I mean, like Mirror Force, Deep Prison, Compulse, Bottomless, all those cards get over him really easily. But be it a lot of people, like in the meta is all about monster effects, so he can easily run over Nephilim, because Nephilim, he cannot be destroyed by effect monsters. So I like to have him in here because it's unexpected. You know, like most people just don't expect to see a 35 beater, and he pretty much runs over most things. And I believe he can actually run over Killer 3000, be it and the weakest Gaia Drake can be is like 32 against Qliphoth. So I don't think, and I don't think you can change Killer's attack because he's unaffected. I don't think you can even equip Sacrifice to Killer, so Gaia Drake can pretty much just run over Killer. And then we have Shek, who's pretty much a Trap Trick Trap Hole Nightmare, except you have to discard a Shaddoll card. So it triggers it so your opponent summons a monster. If it activates its effect, it doesn't have to be the turn it's with special summon, it's just as a special summon monster activates effect, you can negate it and destroy it by discarding a Shaddoll card. And then we have Nephilim, who destroys at the start of damage step any Shaddoll, any special summon monster. And when it's summoned, when it's special summoned, you can send one Shaddoll card from your deck to the graveyard. So that is a really nice. Then we have Acid, who blows up, he's the Hoppy Feather Duster. Egrystal, who negates inherent summons. He isn't as good as Shek because of the fact that he only negates inherent. So while she will destroy any special summon monster that activates its effect, he will only stop those that are inherent. So I don't really make him ever, but yet he can still be really nice. But you should always have him, seeing how I'm running Firehand. If I get into that situation, where making him would be a little bit better. And then we have Darklaw, who's a Macrocosmos for your opponent, and if they add a card from the deck to the hand, you can banish one random card from their hand. So he can be a really annoying card for your opponent to run into. Then we have the triple Midrash, who prevents your opponent from special summoning at least once, and it cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effect. And that is it for the fusions. For the synchros, we have Star Eater because he's unaffected when he attacks, or he gets over Nephilim and a lot of other cards. We have Stardust, who level 8s are really a little bit tricky to make, yet it is possible. It's simply a Beast and a Junk Synchron. Be it Stardust is really nice to have in here because Stardust gets over Nephilim and Midrash because he can negate Nephilim's effect and thus destroy it, and he can just run over Midrash by himself. And then our K-Knight Magician, originally I was running Goyo, but yet I decided to take him out for K-Knight because Goyo really wasn't doing much, and I had so many opportunities to make a K-Knight where it would have been really nice to do. No, K-Knight, it's really nice to just be able to get those two, get those two pops out. So I definitely recommend running on K-Knight. He's really weak, there's not much you can do with him after you use his effect, be it once you do, you can pretty much put your opponent into a really bad position. And then Armades, who can be very tricky to make, be it when you do make Armades, it's just your opponent won't be able to do anything. Like, you can run into a Fire and Ice and it won't be able to activate the effect, Supply Squad won't be able to activate, Shaddolls won't be able to activate, which is something I was trying to make sure if you notice, I was trying to make sure that I was able to do when I was building this deck, is make sure that it can also beat other Shaddoll decks. And that is it for pretty much just the deck in general. It just tries to win, as all decks do, be it. It's trying to be able to beat other decks, while at the same time trying to beat actual Shaddoll decks. And I haven't really had a good matchup against Qliphoth, and I've been getting on DN doing the actual matches, seeing if I can face a Qliphoth, but a lot of people just quit. But yet I feel that in the matchup that I have had, I feel like Shaddolls, so they just don't disappear, because Killer can be very tricky to pull out, and Qliphoth can have like some really bad hands, and so I feel Shaddolls can be just a little bit faster if they have certain hands than a Qliphoth deck. And as for the side deck, we have the two Lava Golems, because it instantly gets past pretty much any monster that you're having troubles with, including Killer. if you think that Lava Golem wouldn't get past Killer, then you'd be saying that you can attribute Killer for a Blue Eyes or for a Caius, because that's how Lava Golem is treated. Lava Golem is being treated as if your opponent would attribute the two monsters themselves for a different monster. So he's an inherent summon that your opponent pretty much can't do anything against, and he can, and sometimes your opponent will activate cards such as Bottomless or Solemn, and they will be like, okay, I just got rid of 2 of your cards and you're gonna Bottomless or Pulse. Sure, that's okay with me. And he can be just that win condition pretty much because of the fact that he does that burn damage. And because we do have Egrystal, you can Super Poly with him to make Egrystal. And then we have Grand Mole, because Grand Mole can be really annoying for Shaddoll decks. Not for Cliffos. Cliffos pretty much Grand Mole doesn't do much against them. Yet, because he's a level 3, so his effect when it affects them pretty much. But yet, he can be really annoying for a lot of other decks. DD Crow for pretty much anything that isn't Cliffos. And then another Dark Law for when we take out the Fire and Ice Hands. And he, just for decks I like to search a lot, such as Cliffos. The 2 MSTs for when we take out Fire and Ice Hands, because those are the main cards that we're trying to take out, is Exodius and Fire and Ice Hands. And then Chain Dispel, I'm trying to test this card out. When a Spell Trap card is activated, destroy all cards with the same name as that activated card in its controller's main deck. So the only thing that I'm not sure about is if your opponent would activate Tool, and you chained with this, would the other tools that are in the deck, would they go to the grave or to the extra deck? I'm pretty certain they go to the grave, but I wouldn't be surprised if they go to the extra deck. The 2 Mind Crush, just for those decks such as Lights ones, or just any deck that likes to search a lot, such as Cliffos again, they will really put the hit on them. Starlight Road, mainly for Lights ones, it doesn't really affect Cliffos. This is just for Lights ones. Mask of Restrict, again for Cliffos, like I'm really afraid of Cliffos, so we have definitely these 2. And Curcio, the Forbidden Spell, like this card, this is one of the cards, like if you get it, if it's in your side deck and it actually goes through, you win the duel, but there's nothing your opponent can do. And so this is great against Shaddolls and against Cliffos, because you negate Tool, they can't use it for the rest of the turn, they have no search power pretty much. And with Shaddolls, if you hit Shaddoll Fusion, they're left with El Shaddoll Fusion. They can no longer fusion summon from the deck, so they now need to get 3 cards to their hand instead of just having that 1, so it really hurts their consistency. And that's pretty much the side deck, trying to be able to beat Shaddolls definitely, and trying to also beat Cliffos, with a little bit of hints of Lights ones who can be uber annoying. And people are still gonna run Lights ones. Lights ones are still definitely a deck that a lot of people are gonna like. And this is just the update. I mean, there was only 2 new cards, Shek and Hound, and really, like, I'm not sure what the next type of fusions will be like for Shaddolls, because they have a monster that can prevent, negate, destroy, negate effects, and then destroy special summon monsters. So I'm not sure what else they can do to hurt special summon monsters now. And it's just, as they constantly come out with more fusions, I'm starting to have to get rid of synchros, and I've been thinking about putting Midrash or Nephilim down to 2, which would be really, a little hard to do, because sometimes you need those 3 Nephilims and those 3 Midrashes. But yes, I've also heard rumors, and these are just rumors, that they might change the extra deck up to 20, because golly, what I wouldn't do for an extra 5 more synchros that I can make, or actually be able to have those 2 XZs. Like, as you can see, I'm not running any XZs because I don't like to summon a lizard or a dragon, and so that's why. Well, yeah, you can make 1/1 with a Fire and an Ice Hand, but I don't like to use those. I like to use them for their intended effects. So that's why I don't like to go into the XCs with this deck. Well, with a Synchro, I can actually use their intended effect and Synchro up afterwards. So that's something. But yeah, this is pretty much a deck update. There will be a duel tomorrow. And yeah, I think Shaddoll is definitely still going to have a chance up against Cliffos. They definitely aren't going away. And they're still going to probably get some more support. And I really hope that Shaddoll is still really big. I hope like a lot of decks are still actually pretty good. Like, I'd actually like to see Fusions get more support. Just so that way, like, there's just a variety of different decks that can go up. And I just don't want there to be like a Shaddoll versus Cliffos like there was Fusions versus Madolches. I don't want that. I want there to be so many different decks that actually have a chance to win AYCS that you wouldn't actually be able to predict very well. But that's just my opinion. This is a deck. Some people like to run the artifacts with some, be it with Egrystal. It's like, I'm just gonna run Firehand, and they just can get past so many things. I mean, you saw my duel with the Galactic God, hopefully. Firehand got over Quasar. It was a breakthrough skill. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile, or deck update, more or less. And tell me what you guys think, if there's any cards that you think that I should run. Like a lot of people say I should run one of those Time Lords, be it I don't like the boss monster light monsters. And I've had a lot of videos on Shaddoll, so I've been working with them. I do plan on getting a box of Duelist Alliance where I will open it up for you guys and see how many Shaddoll cards I can pull. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this duel, our deck profile. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below, especially the Swagbucks links. That would really help if you were to start doing that. And it does work, doesn't really require much if you have a smartphone. And check out the links in the annotations, which will be popping up pretty soon. And thank you guys for watching. Hey, if you could click on the links and on the annotation to see the duel with this deck or some of my other videos, that would really help. And check out the links in the description to watch some of me and my friends' videos, and even something that could help make this deck a reality for you. See you guys later. Bye.